All right, we'll go on to the next. So our next story is from e-cards again, some e-cards again, and people share stories of not safe for work things they witnessed at work. All right.
Yes.
So this one starts with, went into work because monitoring software on a server was sending out alerts. When I got there, a guy was in the break room cleaning a woman's shoe in the sink, as you do.
What?
He was super startled when I walked in and began a weird story about the shoe smelling bad and it distracting him. So he decided to just grab it and wash it. I was like, well, okay, then, good corporate citizen. At this point, I would love to say how weird it would be. Imagine if you were in an office and someone's feet stank so bad you just took their shoe and washed it.
Fucking hell.
All right. Well, the story continues. A few weeks later, someone walked in on him masturbating with a woman's shoe. Apparently, it was normal for female employees to occasionally leave a pair of shoes at the office. This was in Chicago, and you either left shoes there or carried them with you on your commute so that you could wear boots in the slush.
Carrying shoes is one thing, but surely you can get someone else to do that for you.
What?
Carry or clean your shoes instead of.
No, the point, they're leaving their shoes at the office, and this guy was then taking the shoes that were left there and masturbating to them.
That's just fucking
Jesus,
sick.
learn your creepy sex fetishes.
That is just sick.
Okay, so at his exit interview, he made a point of saying that he always washed the shoes afterwards, as if somehow that made it okay.
I was going to say, how does that make it okay?
They let him resign in lieu of calling the cops on him. The day he left, a memo went around explaining what happened and authorizing full compensation for replacement of any shoes that had never been left overnight.
Oh my God. Seriously?
Imagine getting an email from your work to say that if you left your shoes here, someone might have masturbated in them, so we'll buy new shoes.
Yeah, I know. That would be an interesting email to receive.
Imagine he forgot to clean them and you come in one day and then there's just cum on your shoes.
I'm actually about to try and hit a golf shot. And yeah, that's not a thought I want to have.
Well, this is gave me a great idea for a band name. Imagine your band is called Come On My Shoes. And then you have like outfits where you have shoes with specific white stuff on them, and then you can sell that as merch. So people buy cum stained shoes.
Oh, no, that's fucked. That is so fucked.
Okay, the next one. When I was 19, I worked for a quick oil change place, and I had a woman sit in her car and change every stitch of clothing while I stood there and wrote down her information. I mean, nothing on coming on the shoes. I used to work in a sign shop that specialized in vehicle wraps. My co-workers were always fucking around, and one of them must have lost a bet or something. I walked around the tour bus we were wrapping, and I saw him standing on the scissor lift, applying the wrap to the bus, wearing only his work belt and shoes.
Okay.
I mean, dreams come true.
Yeah, sometimes they do for some people. So
I worked in a photo lab at Mayer right out of high school. This was just a couple of years before digital cameras killed film, so I still dealt with people bringing in disposables and rolls of film to develop. Imagine back in the day working in a photo thing, because I'm sure you would have seen all kinds of crazy shit.
They'd probably have like a selection of stuff they would have kept for sure.
And made their own copies to enjoy.
Exactly. Yeah.
95% of the stuff I saw was kids' birthday parties and vacation shots. The rest, though, was some NSFW stuff. One woman in her mid-40s that apparently liked to party with her friends had a thing about resting her boobs on people's heads. There's nice boobs, by the way. Another guy dropped off a disposable camera for 1 hour development. I ran it through, and the entire roll was a woman who is drop-dead gorgeous, just posing naked on the bed. Well, when he returned to pick up the pictures, she was with him. That was a very awkward moment of ringing them up, and she couldn't look me in the eye. Had another guy drop off a camera who was a real class act. No, naked photos of his wife/girlfriend, a collection of guns, and him snorting coke off a family picture.
Oh, that's good.
One other story I have is about a couple that brought in a roll of film. I ran it through the process, and most of the images were innocuous, but the final few were probably a little saucy. I say probably because the images were so dark I couldn't make out more than a silhouette. It was likely the wife modeling off some lingerie. I never printed the pictures though, since they were almost all black. They picked them up and returned a short time later with my manager and store director in tow, demanding I be fired for stealing those last few shots. My explanation didn't satisfy them, so I was forced to put their film back in the machine and show exactly what the shots were and why they weren't printed. After that, they got real sheepish and muttered an apology before quickly leaving. I feel like there has to be better
What
stories
happens sometimes.
of people working in those photo development things. The other thing was back in those days, like it was limited. So like if you took photos, you'd want to maximize it. So you'd have like random family gatherings and then have some scat porn in the middle and then have more random family gatherings.
Yeah, just for good measure, basically. So nothing wrong with some good old scat porn in the photos. So.
Well, yep. I once saw a girl sit down on the floor in one of the cubicles and show everyone her clit ring. I mean,
yeah.
Maybe you should show the other golfers your clit ring.
Yeah. And I could start playing golf with absolutely no clothes on. I don't know how much attention that'd actually draw to myself, to be honest.
With your clit ring?
Yeah.
Can you please talk about how your clit ring is getting a bit itchy?
Well, I mean, my cock ring's definitely getting a little bit itchy at the moment. So.
Clit ring, please, sir.
Clit ring? Oh, sorry. Yeah, that too, actually. Sorry, sir. I forgot you were talking. Sorry, mate. I forgot you were talking about your clit ring. So.
I worked at a restaurant, and one of the hostesses would talk about having anal beads in while working, and how she came when she walked around the restaurant. That'd be good to have like a child's party there and serve them their food while she's coming from her anal beads.
I could see that happening.
So how are your anal beads right now?
Well, I haven't got any at the moment. So.
Oh, well, that's no fun.
I know. It is no fun, unfortunately. So.
I worked at a restaurant with a woman who forgot to take her butt plug out before her shift.
Oh,
she just had to tell somebody and then somebody else and then put 2 or 3 more somebodies who all told somebody else. Eventually, the butt plug story made its way to management. Management had a meeting, decided it came down to uniform policy, decided since the butt plug wasn't visible to customers, it wasn't an issue. Girls started wearing butt plug all the time. Pretty cool job. You should ask your employer if butt plugs are acceptable to wear.
Yeah.
And make the statement that you can't get that you can't get coronavirus from it, so it's safe.
Yeah, that's true.
Owner's son at a computer repair shop would use the test bench to look up stupid shit. He got the test bench infected with viruses while looking at cat porn. No people, just cats having sex. At least he was laughing uncontrollably at it instead of furiously masturbating to it. See, that's just sick, as if you wouldn't masturbate to cat porn.
Yeah, I'm trying to work out in the first place what someone's doing supposedly doing cat porn in the first place. So some person off the street's just looking at me going, what the fuck?
Can you tell me not to look at cat porn?
Sir, can you please not look at cat porn, okay? Please do not look at cat porn.
Oh, classic.
I'm trying to line up my shot and we're having this discussion about cat porn, okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I can't. I've got this person here. We're just having a discussion about cat porn. Okay, it's got an interesting fetish. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to attempt to actually play a golf shot here.
The next one. I was working for an international company and we were rolling out video conference equipment. We had the far end system in the London office on, and it was connected at like 9 p.m. there for testing. The monitor was off, but the camera wasn't. I was looking at the network traffic when I heard voices, looked up and saw an exec and his male assistant. Went about my business, and my coworker walked in and said, "Hey, stupid change, did you get the what the fuck?" Exec had dropped to his knees and started going at it on our 60-inch monitor. That wasn't the only thing 60-inch in my mind.
Probably not.
I quickly killed the connection, and I still don't know if my side was muted or not, but if it wasn't, it was probably pretty funny with some dude getting a beach and then a sudden voice coming through from nowhere.
People love anything. People have a go at anything these days.
So what is it like when you have someone walk in on you like that?
It's a little disturbing.
So you can't deny that things.
I have had someone walking in on me having sex before.
Dreams come true.
That I have happened.
Accidentally, of course.
Wasn't expecting it, but it did happen. So
sure, you weren't expecting it. Definitely
no, it wasn't
didn't set it up to perfectly happen.
I think the person who actually walked in on me was
masturbating in the hallway.
Planning on trying with. Well, I think that would definitely happen. I think they were definitely doing something a bit fishy.
Fishy or catty?
Yeah. Well, both actually.
Well,
probably a bit of both, to be honest. So.
Next one. When I worked at a big box electronics company, I did computer janitor work. A lady brought in her 14-year-old son's laptop because it was acting slow. I booted it up in front of her. It had one folder on the desktop named after the kid. Opened that up, and she and I both got an eyeful of thumbnails of the kid jacking it. It was insanely awkward. I closed and deleted the folder and gave her the computer back. She said, "Yeah, we don't need to get this fixed. He's not getting a computer back again." Now, it would have been funnier if she had said, "You are disgusting. You just looked at child porn and I want you arrested."
Yeah, that would have been funny, but...
I think your phone's getting coronavirus over there. I think between the wind and coronavirus, your phone is fucked.
Unfortunately.
What?
Hear me at least. Can you hear me?
Kinda.
Well, it's the wind. I can't do anything about Mother Nature.
You should.
I really can't.
If this virus has taught us anything, we should kill Mother Nature.
Yeah, some people would agree with you on that. So.
Fuck this bitch. It's time to take payback. We're constantly getting hit by her. It's time we hit her back.
Yeah. How do you propose doing that?
I don't know. If we all fight excessively, it'll cause great damage to Mother Nature.
I've almost hit that on the fucking road.
Can't yell "for" to a car.
Well, the problem is there's no car or people anywhere nearby, so...
Yeah. All right, well, next one. There was a guy and a girl not in a relationship that used to regularly go into the sick bay around lunchtime for 10 to 20 minutes. She was a bit loud. Everyone nearby knew when they were in the session.
It's probably similar to people who go into McDonald's and do exactly the same thing.
Really? You've seen that?
Well, there's video of it. There's like video of it.
Well, sorry, I don't look up McDonald's sex porn.
No, I'm just saying that.
Well, clearly we found your new fetish.
No.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
So what are your videos posted under?
That's personal information, which I prefer not to divulge at this stage.
Okay. I worked with a woman who claimed she could give herself an orgasm using only her mind. On 2 occasions, I saw her demonstrate this. Of course, she could have been lying, but it was a weird thing to lie about. She claimed that the more people were watching, the easier it was for her. She was pretty convincing. A pretty weird thing to do at work.
Yeah, I was give yourself.
Better thing to do on the golf course. So can you try to make yourself come from your mind right now?
Oh, that feels so much better.
All right, the next one. First startup I worked at in the 90s, just a few of us, ran meetings by having the note taker use a sheet of paper placed over a Playboy. Why the fuck? If the note taker started flipping through the magazine, the meeting wasn't interesting enough and was declared over. I feel like they should do that now, but with like podcasts, where if this gets too boring, you just turn on the Pornhub.
Yeah. Can you imagine seeing like the amount of people going from like a podcast to Pornhub instead?
I mean, it'd be pretty fucking high, especially with the quality of this.
Yes, true. Although there's much worse than this. So.
I was the spot kid at a car dealership when I was 18. Moved cars around on the lot. When we got a spot, I'd clean it. A spot was the term for when one of the salesmen sold a car. I'd also clean up trade-ins and some other vehicles when I got a chance. We took in one of those big-ass conversion vans on a trade. I was left in the back. Jesus Christ! It was left in the back lot.
Do you know have you worked out how to read English yet?
No, I lose my spot. You're too distracting with your sexiness to focus on.
I know. I found a new place to put the camera as well. Put it somewhere near my
pee
arse.
hole. Oh.
Yeah, pretty much.
Put it at the front and be better.
I can put it right down there if you want.
No, inside, not out.
Hold on. The problem is it's too dark. You can't see shit anyway, so it makes no difference.
Oh, I'll see shit.
You've seen plenty of shit anyway, so
literally
it makes no difference. You've seen all my shit, so
okay. On most slow nights, I'd grab one of the trades that was going to back out on the lot and clean it. I was putting off cleaning this van for a while. It's a big ass can and it would take hours. When I finally decided to clean it, I grabbed the keys and head to the back of the lot. Open the door, and there's 2 of the male salesmen going at it on the shitty pull-out bed, while the female sales manager watched from one of the swiveling captain chairs. There was a shit ton of coke involved. I shut the door and slowly backed away. Never cleaned the van. The service manager asked why I hadn't already. Told him, let's say Jan said I didn't have to, and to ask her. A few days later, it gets loaded up and sent to auction. Nothing was mentioned for a few days, but what I saw. But it was a weird sales office when I was around.
Well, that sounds like an interesting sales office. So
I feel like more sales teams should be doing that, doing
I
coke
agree.
and wild gay orgies.
I mean,
You would sell a lot more vehicles if that was.
Absolutely, you would. You'd sell plenty more stuff if you're doing stuff like that. So you'd be way more productive as well.
All right, the next one. In my Company, we have live. What was that sound? Anyway, in my Company, we have live video conferencing in every room. If a meeting is scheduled between 2 rooms, then the live conference connects automatically and the 2 rooms are both on live video. Anyone in the company can schedule this. Well, we were in a meeting that ended and the next meeting connected. Turns out the people in the room next to us did not know this and were in a very not safe for work activity. The whole executive team watched in shock what was happening in the 100-inch screen in front of them. They still have jobs, but that will haunt them forever.
No, it won't. Probably almost got them promotions.
Well, what kind of fucking company wouldn't fire people, though?
look, everyone's got their own enjoyment and pleasure at some point. So you don't necessarily need to fire them just because they've enjoyed themselves.
No, but you fire them for the fun of it.
Yeah, but if they're getting it on, then they're decent. They've got some character to them.